Your cousin is getting married. Let's say you're from the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria and she's getting married to someone from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. You know that everybody wants what they want. You know, if you've ever been to a Nigerian party, you know that the mothers, especially, they don't leave room for negotiation. So, what that means is you have to get to everybody. Picture yourself as the event planner. The bride says she wants her dress delivered. She wants her makeup artist done in X-ray. She wants the music to be playing at the background when she's dressing up. She wants cameraman and videographer to be on site with her. The groom has his own requirements and things that he wants to get. Mopsy also wants you to give 100 seats and 3 canopies to her guests. Popsy's telling you how he's inviting all the associations he belongs to, particularly the political side, and everyone has something that they need. Even the baby brother, who is possibly never even around, also wants a table and a canopy for his friends. And you have to provide all of these things for all of these people. And you have to ensure that everybody gets what they want, or at least find a favorable compromise. That can be a very hard space to be in, particularly because there's just one hall, there's one budget, and multiple people to satisfy. How do you fix such a chaotic moment? Hey busies, welcome to BUT Podcast where we talk business, its users, and technology. I'm Lady B, I'm your host, and you are welcome to my USERVERSE. In today's episode, we're talking about what business analysts really do, or trying to answer the question, what do BAs really do? This is a question I get asked a lot of the time, and I feel like let's address it, particularly because if you're an organization or you're a business owner, if you're a founder or a business leader, a business executive, you must have heard the term business analyst flying about very frequently. But you're still unclear as to what they really do. So that's what I'm going to explain to you today. If you're a career professional and you've been hearing about people pivoting into business analysis, and in some parts of your head, you're like, what is this career about, anyways? That is what I'm going to answer to you in under 10 minutes. Remember the story we started with? Yeah, you are the event planner, you are the business analyst. What business analysts do using the story of your cousin who's getting married? We gather requirements. What does this mean? In layman terms, we're asking the stakeholders the right questions to know what it is that they need. For instance, our bride wants the DJ in the room, or the cameraman in the room, or she wants the hall painted with gold. That's what the bride wants. Remember that Momsy has other things that she's asked about. Popsy has told you that he's inviting a lot of people and he has expectations as well. As a business analyst, it is your duty to ensure that all of these people either get what they want or come to a favorable compromise. That is requirements gathering. Having done that, we then analyze this. We sit down and make sense of all of this madness. Why is everybody going about asking and asking and asking? Do we even have the capacity to satisfy everyone on the level that they want to be satisfied? The hall can only take 200 people, and if Momsy is asking for 100 seats for her own guests, there are other people in play here. So we cannot do that, particularly maybe because the guest list is about 500 and the hall has only a seating capacity of 200. We have to find a favorable compromise. Say we have a budget of 2 million, but by the time we put everybody's request together, we've gotten to 5 million. Unless the couple are willing to extend their budget, we cannot, and we have to work within the scope of our budget. This is how we analyze situations and make sense of them. Then we document. No, we don't just write stories and write things because we can. We have to put down in paper every requirement that we have gathered. What is the overall goal of this wedding? What is the overall need of every individual? How can we make do with all of these things? Because if it's not in black and white, it's not admissible in the courts, then it's not valid. I have a personal saying that if you cannot use this as evidence in court, then it is not valid. So I said, they said, we said, she said, who said? Word of mouth can be denied. So we put everything down. It's not enough that we document, we have to communicate to our stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people at play here, and we'll get to that in a future episode. We have to let them know that, okay, the sitting capacity can only take 200, so you need to cut down on your expectation. We have a budget of just 2 million, so we're currently standing at 5 million. People need to step down. We have to communicate to them in the language that they understand. Sometimes we deal with people who are very finance savvy, sometimes they are laymen. Sometimes we deal with people who are very tech savvy, sometimes they are laymen. We need to know how to speak to both our business stakeholders as well as our technical stakeholders. In future episodes, we'll address each of these individually. But that's not all we do. We manage the stakeholders, the vendors, the parents of the bride, the groom, the friends of the bride. Everybody has expectations. We have to manage each of these people. Then we process map and improve the processes. When we look at how things are being done, we want to spot bottlenecks. Like why does the vendor need 70% ahead before they can commence? Why does the vendor want to cook at the car park when there's a kitchen spot or when there's a cooking spot provided for them? Things like that. We find loopholes and we try to solve them. In English, we build the bridge between business and technology. That is saying between your vendors and the family that you're planning this event for, we want to ensure that everybody is on the same page. We facilitate workshops and meetings because when we have to go into family meetings, then we need to call everybody to say, hey, this is where we're at, this is what we've done. Let's decide the color of our shuebi, who's tying gele, are we using a single makeup artist, etc. Then we test and validate because we do not just roll out solutions like that. We have to ensure that they are meeting the need that we set out to meet. In English, or for context, referencing your cousin's party. Before the D-Day, you'd usually find that we want to do rehearsals. We want the cook to be here. We want to see what the lineup is going to look like. That is what we do. So that on the D-Day, we don't produce a final product that was never tried. So technically, we go through quality assurance and quality control testing phase. Then change management. We manage change because we know that some things can spring up. Maybe the venue was double booked for our date and we're not told. And 3 weeks to the wedding, we now hear this thing. We have done all our plans to ensure that, vendors know their sitting position. We know where the couple will match in from. We know where the pastor is going to sit to preach. We know where to place high table. But then we are told that the venue was double booked and we have to make the compromise. Now we have to move to either a bigger or a smaller hall. Then we have to see how that affects the entire plan. We manage change. And finally, someone has to ask the hard questions and give advice. So we also do strategic advisory. We come in and we weigh the options. We look at long-term goals. We align decisions with overall strategy. We ask things like, do you really need 1,000 guests when you can make do with 500 and get the same experience? How about we just do maybe a destination wedding for like 200 people, your closest parties, and every other person will be all right. So, in summary, BAs are not just note takers. We don't just appear and we don't do nothing. We technically do everything. We are the party planners in the corporate world. We make sure that all voices are heard, all processes are followed, the flow of events, or the program of events is followed. We ensure that solutions fit the problem that we're trying to solve, and everything works beautifully on the D-Day. So next time someone asks you, what do business analysts do? Simply tell them we are the party planners for the corporate world. So business, with this explanation, I hope you now understand what business analysts actually do in terms of career path and how they bring value to your solution. Till I come your way next time, explore.